Good morning, students. Am I audible to you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we had a belated start due to technical issues. We are going to study. You can see some materials in front of your eyes, isn't it? Now, what are these? Just try to find out. It is easy for you. Nowadays, we are getting hold of this type of leaves, isn't it? It is which leaves? Could you identify them?
Spinach.
Spinach.
Spinach leaves. So we have some fresh spinach leaves with us, and it's green in color. Why it's green in color? Because it contains a
Of the
pigment,
chlorophyll.
isn't it? Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll.
Okay, and which is required for the process of
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
photosynthesis. So what do you think? Entirely this pigment is made up of green color, isn't it? What do you think? It's made up of green color.
No, there
Let's
are
try and find out whether really it's all green. Okay. So our study, our aim is what? To separate and study the plant pigments with the help of paper chromatography. For you, this word is new for you, isn't it? Chromatography. Chroma means what? If I divide this word, chroma means color and graph means read or write, WRITE. This is a peculiar technique by which we separate different substances. Different substances means the components who are present in a solution. So we cannot take this leaf and directly say in this green color these things are there. So what should we do? We have to do something with this pigment. We have to squeeze out the pigment, and then we are going to see individual pigments, how far they can travel, where should they travel in a paper, which we are, you can see these test tubes which are having some papers inside. This paper is known as Whatman paper, WHATMAN, a special paper where the pigments are supposed to travel upwards, okay, in a solution. Let's see how we are going to go with the experiment. I'm starting now. Pay attention. See, this is a mortar and pestle. We call it mortar and pestle. And what have we done? We have taken these spinach leaves. You will take a couple of these spinach leaves, right? And you wash it. They should be fresh. If they are fresh, why do we choose this kind of leaf? Because the chlorophyll content is high and the cells are single thick. So if we focus it here, you can see some spinach leaves have already been cut and kept. We can cut it into smaller pieces, which helps us to expedite the process. So these leaves we are going to pour into this mortar. When we pour into this mortar, a little bit of, this is what I do, I prefer to add little bit of, this is sand. This is nothing but sand. So I can use this sand and pour in a bit of it. You have to use a spatula or your hand if you prefer. This is better. This is better. This is how we add it here. It will increase the friction and so will enable us to do the work easily. Okay. Since it's not so fresh, I'm adding a bit of acetone. Let it be paste. I will show it. I'm just grinding it into a paste kind of thing, because ultimately I have to squeeze out the pigment. It will take a bit of time. Just the way you used to play when you were a child. Just squeeze it into a paste. Okay. This is a strainer. This is a strainer. If I have cloth, it's easier for me to strain into a test tube. Let's look for a strainer cloth if it's there. If it's for suppose your entire class, I would have preferred the strainer, but since it is only for me and me for demonstration, I am getting hold of a test tube for the purpose. Huh? Yeah, we network issues. Funnel is there. I'll place it here. This is enough for me. This much is enough for me. Okay. Okay. Have a look. This is the pure green chlorophyll pigment that we were aiming for. So we have filtered it out. Right. Now what to do? This is my reservoir. Let me keep it here. Now, these are the papers. What are we doing? We are going to cut off the paper. We are cutting it off. See the special thing, the notch which is there, like a V-shaped notch. Now, what should we do? You can see this V-shaped notch. And then we are going to take, I'll show you on board. Wait. Can we see it here? This notch. We are going to draw a line here and approximately in the center. When you draw the line, this is the center part, mark it here. Here we are going to drop the residue, the filtrate that we have taken out. We are going to place this residue in which position? In this position. In this position. Exactly, one drop, and then we will dry under the fan, and again put in 4 or 5 times. We'll repeat the process. Now this part is over. Next part about the solvent. Right. Let me take a fresh tube. Okay. So this is a broad-mouthed tube where I need to create the solvent which is required for my paper chromatography. The solvent is going to push the components of the components which are present in this pigment upwards through the paper. So what is the chemical which is used to make this solvent? This is ethanol. If you can see, this is ethanol and this is acetone. Ethanol and acetone. These two chemicals are used. Now they are used in a ratio. I have to make a solution if I can get some help. I have to take 9 parts. This is known as pipette. All of you know this, in chemistry you have seen. So I'm going to get hold of 9 parts of ether and 1 part of acetone. Nine parts. Huh? Oh, acetone is 9 parts. Na? So I will take only 1 part. Bas. This is acetone. This is a measuring cylinder where I will take in acetone 9 ml. You can close it. Volatile. It's very volatile, so I need to close it with my fingertip. 9 ml. Ah, that will do. Thank you. So I'm going to pour this so my solvent becomes ready. So my solvent becomes ready. Okay. 9:1. Then what will I do? See, this is a split cork. This cork is half. And this is the paper, right? So how am I going to plug it? I'm going to use this split cork, place the paper in between, place the other half of the split cork, and then I'm going to plug it inside. Wait, I have to drop in the pigment. I will place the pigment right now. Okay. This is a needle, or you can take a brush. For the back end, I'm just placing the dot. Huh? Huh. Now I'm showing you. Can you focus it here? One single drop I've kept. And I'm drying it. In this way, I will repeat it 4-5 times. Huh? Brush. Let it dry. Let it dry. If your quantity is more, it should be optimum. If it's more, then what will happen, you know, and not in the middle, it goes off sideways. And then you miss out the components. So this is done. Let me try once more. And then I'm going to put it. Yes, what do you want to ask?
Ma'am, my friend Sujan is in waiting room.
Waiting room. Okay, he's taking
Yes.
care of that. Any question which is coming to your mind? Be very careful. This is one of the precaution. It should be in the center. Otherwise, it should come out straight. Otherwise, it will come up in a crooked manner and you will miss up the components, right? This is ready. I'm inserting it. Follow it in this way. 2 split ends, squeezing it, and then this is your test tube. See, how am I? Just the tip of the notch should touch your solvent. So, ma'am, the paper is coming out. So, what should I do? I should be very careful, manipulate the size of the Whatman paper and see that the only tip is touching it. In this way, how long will I keep? Till it is rising up. The solvent rises up 3/4 of the length of this paper. Then we'll see the magic, right? Let it rise up. Meanwhile, I'll teach you something. Look at this one, RF, reference factor. What does it mean you? It means ratio of what? Distance traveled by the compound divided by distance traveled by the solvent. Here, what is the solvent? Nature of the solvent? Ether is to acetone. So this distance traveled by the solvent will be same for all the ingredients. And here, distance traveled by the component will be different. My numerator will be different. Ultimately, my expected observation is this. We will find 3 types of colors when it comes off. So, yellow, orange refers to carotene pigment which is present there. And xanthophyll is yellow in color. So first on top orange like you find in carrot, then you will find little bit yellowish in color, and these two, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Chlorophyll A is the main actor of your photosynthesis process, correct? We will look at the coloration of the difference between A and B. Okay. How much has it come up? It has only come up till here. Let's see. This chlorophyll A is sea green in color. Sea green in color. And this one is shallow green, like the color of algae. A bit of dirty green color, chlorophyll B. Chlorophyll A is sea green, then you'll find yellow patch, and on top you'll find orangish hue. This is what approximately we have the reference value. Reference value should be near about this expected result. Now it will take time for it to rise up, but our class is limited, isn't it? We will wait and we will not gossip when we do the experiment. Be very vigilant. See, it has started rising up. If we can have a closer view, you can see some colors have started separating out. Yellow, sea green color, orange. Orange is not so visible, I think. Yellow you can see, sea green you can see, and dirty green. But it has to rise up till here. We have to wait. I have already done the experiment before, and I'm focusing it here. See what we are expected to do. This is the reference point, the loading point. You can mark it as L1, L2, or P1, whatever you want. This is my loading point, 0 point. Now, when it is wet, take a pen or a pencil and mark how much can you see it dirty green in color, and mark it L1. How much has it gone? The upper limit where it is sea green color, L2, like this, L3 and L4. So my 3/4 portion was still here. When I inserted the paper, I waited for it to rise till here, and then I marked it. Because when it dries up, the orange color, yellow color is no more so prominently visible to you. Understood? Is it clear, students? Any question which is coming to your mind? You can ask. Can you see the loading point?
Yes, ma'am.
Only Devankur could see. Where are the others? They are all sleeping.
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
You can
Visible,
see.
ma'am. We
Yes,
can
ma'am,
see.
visible.
Yes, ma'am. We can
I'm
see.
showing you two sets of papers. See, I had done in two test tubes. Here it is a bit more prominent than this one. So when you do this experiment, I would suggest you put up two setups, because we don't know whether your this. I have already given you the table here, which is telling you the approximate valuation which should come. Sometimes it happens, it dries up faster and you forget to put in the point, or it comes up in a crooked manner. So you put up two setups, any one of them will work out better. And we stick this in a practical copy. How did we calculate? From here to here, 3/4 length is my denominator. And what is the numerator part? From here to here. Here to here is your numerator divided by the denominator. So whose value will be less? Use your principle of mathematics. When numerator is less, my RF factor will be low. That's why here you can see for chlorophyll B, it is the smallest one, 0.45. As still higher up, where you have this sea green coloration, it is the next point. Numerator is little more. So next one is chlorophyll A, 0.65. And xanthophyll is 0.71. And last one, topmost one, which is not visible here. This one for the carotene. Okay. So in this way, you have to perform the experiment. Which experiment did we talk about? Paper chromatography. You are using to separate out the pigments. We tried it out with the spinach leaves, isn't it? You can try it out with any other leaves, obviously, which is having a thick cuticle. Cuticle will obstruct your uh, taking out of the chlorophyll. So you have to use some other chemicals for that purpose. And especially you should have this Whatman paper. Now, what are the precautions? The loading spot should be in the middle. The material should be fresh, and the solvent which we made, it should be, that ratio of acetone and ether should be ideal, 9:1. Okay. And
Ma'am, will monocot and dicot will affect the ratings?
the it's not a question of monocot and dicot. It's a question of the chlorophyll content of the plant. Chlorophyll content of the plant. See, it's rising up.
Okay, ma'am.
As we were gossiping, see how it has come up till here. A little more we have to wait. How many minutes do we have in our hand? Do we have 4 minutes, 5 minutes? Then we can wait and see closely. Can we bring it closer? Can you see it rising up? While doing this, children, sometimes for the first time, obviously, it becomes crooked. So they miss out, or the quantity becomes lesser in your loading point. And your solvent proportion should be ideal. It's an easy experiment, but you have to be very vigilant. Okay. A bit more till here it has to rise. Why do we have these other pigments present in the plant? Let's see, how much do you know? See, this one is only mainly required for photosynthesis, but we have accessory pigments. Could you tell me why?
To protect it from the harmful radiations of the sun.
And one more point. Radiation, how will they affect? To prevent the photooxidation of chlorophyll A. You want to protect the main hero of the story, isn't it? So chlorophyll A has to be protected by the shield of whom? By shield of this accessory pigments. One part of the answer. Another part?
To absorb the light energy and pass it to chlorophyll A.
To utilize or to trap the maximum amount of light energy from the sun to change it into chemical energy. Exactly. I think I will be able to take out now the paper. Otherwise, we have to wait for some 4 minutes. It has to come till here. It's a bit early, but I'm taking it out. Okay. Can I show you? I need a pen. Okay. So it has come up till here. I had to wait a little more. So in this condition, we have to mark the spots. Okay. This is L1. This is dirty green color. Here, maximum it has gone till here. So it will be, this is your loading spot, L0. L1, sea green color till here. L2. Then you see yellow patch. It is L3. And orange is not visible, but only faintly to me. A second. The last one is L4. L4 is not visible to your eyes, only for me, since it has dried up by the time I have lifted. If we waited, it would have gone up a little more. A little more. Then you will take a scale and you measure the distance and The rest is your mathematical calculation. Okay. Can I remove this? Okay. And according to this RF, we are typically going to write down whether that pigment is a carotene, xanthophyll, chlorophyll A, or chlorophyll B. Okay. I hope there are no doubts or confusion in your mind. Do you have? Can I have a final answer? Yes or no? Then we can wrap up. Is it clear to you, students? Will you be able to
Yes,
do it?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
Yes,
see that
ma'am.
the paper
Ma'am.
doesn't become tilted inside the tube, huh? Or you placed it and you left it. It went on absorbing till the tip. Then it will be wrong. Your errors will be there in your exam. Okay. So thank you, students. I feel this experiment is over, and record it in your lab manuals as well. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Write
ma'am.
it
Thank you,
down.
ma'am.
This activity you write down. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Pause.